Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of our low back and hip series. We're almost halfway through already. It's a quick 3 weeks. I mean, I guess it's only been two, but here we are. All right, I'm just going to move my spot. My light is not working. There we go. I'm going to come back into my space. And I haven't mentioned this before, but Sharanda and I were both on the Zoom together. And I said, "Oh, hold on. I got to light a candle. Oh, hold on. I got to put on some essential oil. Oh, hold on. I'm going to pull a card." So I did all those things. And those are just fun things to um, get us in the zone. So if that's a practice that you want to incorporate, if you have a couple minutes prior to us coming together, it might be nice, even if you just light a candle, even if you just sit and breathe for a moment. And I've got somebody coming in. I'm just going to, Latoya is coming on, Sharanda. Um, so anyway, if you wanted to incorporate that, you could. And we're going to just start this evening seated. If it feels comfortable and available to you, close down your eyes. Or if you don't want to close them down, maybe just gaze down towards the ground a little farther out in front of you. Again, whatever's comfortable. Hands can be wherever you want. I find that palms down on my thighs, on my legs, I like that, and it grounds me, and that is a feeling of grounding. And then, or you could do palms up, which they say brings more energy in. So you're pulling the energy in. So whatever you feel like you need today, or if you want to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, that's nice. Both hands to the heart. So many options. All right, so we're just going to take a moment to settle into the space that we're in this evening, wherever that may be. Maybe it's your basement, maybe you have a dedicated space, maybe you're in the living room, bedroom, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you took this time out for yourself this evening. And I thank you for doing that. And so, wherever we are, eyes closed or open, we're just going to arrive in this space right here and right now, letting go of everything else that has happened today or this week. We're going to leave it outside of the space we're in. And if the space you're in is not, a small space, it doesn't matter. We're just leaving it away. It's very likely to still be there when we come back, but perhaps we come to it from a different vantage point. And as you're settling into this space, I'm going to invite you to tap into your breath a little bit. And really, before we even change anything, just notice what's happening. Can you tell how you're breathing? Do you feel harried? Do you feel mellow? Is your heart racing? Is it not? Did you rush to get here? Did you have a minute? All the things. And you can even begin to notice the feeling of air at your nostrils as you inhale. And you can even deepen that inhale. And then maybe just open mouth exhale, just letting all that energy of the day go. Let's inhale through the nose. You can really sigh it out because I can't hear you. And who knows if anyone else can hear you, and it doesn't matter anyway. Inhale through the nose and open mouth exhale. This time, wherever you are, I'm going to invite you to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And as we inhale, we're going to feel that hand on the belly rise. We're going to bring the breath up into the low ribs, and then you're going to feel the chest rise as well. And then as you exhale, the chest deflates, the low ribs come in, and the belly empties. Inhale, feeling the rise of the belly, the low ribs, the chest. Exhale, chest deflates, low ribs come in, and the belly empties. Let's inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. And if that breath pattern isn't working for you, that count, you're welcome to change it, of course. What I would love to see is that the exhale is 1 to 2 counts longer than the inhale. Let's do 3 more. And as you inhale, feel the crown of your head rise up. And as you exhale, feel yourself rooting down into the earth. 2 more. And you can keep your eyes closed or flutter them open, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I'm just going to um, remind us, review our homework, quote unquote. One of my teachers actually calls it home growth. It's kind of cute. But if you haven't been here before, this is your first time, you're like, well, hold on, I didn't do the homework. That's okay. So I just teach you guys something. I taught you guys something in the first class, and it's sort of what we call in yoga Uddiyana Bandha. It's slightly different, but the idea being the pulling up of the pelvic floor, and then we're going to pulse the belly button to the spine 5 times. So the pulling up on the pelvic floor, you can think of a Kegel, but the Kegel is a smaller muscle use. It's the perineum, but I want you to really visualize the entire pelvic bowl lifting. So we have to pull that up. We hold that there. As we do that, we pulse our belly button and release 5 times. So we pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release. And then we let it all go. That's 1. The goal is to get to do 50 of those a day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but to be fair, within 3 days, it's actually not. You can do 10 while you're here in class, 10 watching TV, doing the dishes in the car. I used to do a ton of these in the car. And every time my low back's feeling a little wonky, I'll remember like, oh, I haven't been doing that. And I'll do it and I'll begin to feel better quite quickly. So let's just do it again. And this time you're going to inhale, pull up on that pelvic floor, and you're going to just hold the breath and pulse, 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 release. All right, let's do it one more time. Inhale, pull everything up and pulse, 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 and release. All right, so that was 3 right there. Okay, that's called Uddiyana Bandha. We're pulling up on the pelvic floor. That's the Mula Bandha. Mula is root. Muladhara is root chakra, if you're familiar. So Mula Bandha means root lock. And then the Uddiyana Bandha is the pulling up and in of the belly. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit more of that pulling up of the in of the belly because I find that that is one of the most crucial pieces for protecting our low backs. And if we can get familiar and practiced at doing that, we will feel better. Okay, we're going to come off of our seats. Maybe you're just sitting on the ground or on your mat, wherever you are. And we're going to start in a tabletop position. We're not going to do a ton. Most of this class is we're seated or laying down, but we're going to come into a tabletop position and just do a little bit of warming up of the spine. Also, note to self, I should not wear black to teach this class because you guys can't really see what's happening for me. Okay. So in tabletop, our wrists, elbows, shoulders are in one nice line. All right. I have my toes curled under because it feels better on my knees, you can have them flat, or you can move between. We're going to just do some cat cows to warm up the spine. And this is a really nice thing to do for your low back and hips. All right, we're going to drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the gaze for cow. So I have a really big curve in my low back like a cow. And then as we exhale, pressing the earth away, cat curling the upper spine, gaze comes to my belly or your feet. Inhale, reach it through, dropping the belly, lift the hips, lift the gaze. Exhale, curl it in for cat. Couple more. I like to take the entire breath nice and slow to do these, especially when we're just starting out, because we're just warming it up. And then you can sort of speed it up tiny bit, but this is not meant to be a fast moving pose. Do a couple more. And you're really pressing the earth away. So you should feel it in your upper back here in the cow or cat position. And then in the cow is where I really feel it in my low back. Excuse me. Last time for me for cat. Don't know where you guys are at. And then I'm going to bring it into that neutral tabletop position. I'm going to bring my toes to touch, my knees out wide. I'm going to bring my hips back towards my heels for a child's pose. This is actually another really great pose for low back stuff. Now, for some of us, our hips may not reach our heels. Totally okay. Same, the same thing is happening. We're just reaching. But a pillow, this is a big bolster, but like a couple bed pillows, couch pillows actually work really great just to give your hips something to feel supported on. Okay. And then head is also supported. So it's either on the earth or a block is nice. Okay. And your arms can be stretched out or not. Okay. We're not using this as a super active pose. We're just allowing our hips to reach back towards our heels. You can just take a few breaths here. And wherever you may be feeling it, if you're feeling it anywhere, visualize your breath going to that area. I say that a lot. Visualize the breath going to an area. One more breath. Inhale here. And exhale here. Come back up to a tabletop position. Remove any props you may have. And we'll come back into cow. Drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the gaze. And then exhale, coming into cat. And have you find tabletop position. Again, press the earth away, pull belly button into spine. So I have a nice neutral low back here. I'm going to reach my right leg out long, toes are on the ground. I'm just going to gas pedal that foot, kind of stretching out that calf. And again, the whole leg into the low back. Come back up through tabletop, lift right leg up parallel with the earth. You can bring your right hand in slightly if that feels comfortable to you to give yourself a little bit more balance. Pressing the earth away with the right hand, come up to the fingertips of the left hand. And if that feels like enough, great, stay there. Otherwise, left arm comes long, palm faces in. You're inhaling here, nice strong core. And your exhale here. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. And at any time, you can bring that left hand down if you'd like. One more. Inhale. Exhale, tabletop. One time for cow. Drop the belly. Exhale for cat. Find a neutral spine. Bring that left hand slightly, or actually, first let's bring the left foot out. Sorry. Left foot and leg out long. Gas pedal that foot slightly. Just feels good on the calf, frankly. Come through neutral. Now bring the left hand in just a little bit. Come up to lift the left leg up parallel with the earth. Fingertips on the right hand and or reach the right arm long. Palm faces in. Press the earth away, activate that core. Nice and strong. Inhale here. And exhale here. Two more. Last one. Inhale. You got it. Exhale, tabletop. Last time, inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Toes to touch, hips to heels. Find that child's pose again. Inhale here. And exhale here. You're going to walk your hands up so that you're sitting on your heels. All right, we're going to come off our heels. We're going to bring our legs out in front and we're going to find our strap. So we did this week 1. We're going to just do a shorter version of it today. You're going to find your strap or your scarf. And actually find, if you have blocks, bring those maybe up next to you as well. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Okay. And before we do anything, we're going to bring our feet about inner hip width apart. So our feet and knees are apart. Okay. Arms are long at your side, palms face down. And you're just going to do a few pelvic tilts back and forth. Okay. So your hips are not coming off the ground. You're just reaching your pubic bone away from you, and then you're curling it up towards you, reaching it away, curling it in, sort of giving yourself a little sacrum low back massage here. Okay. And then we're going to find the neutral spot where you're neither tilted nor curled. Your back is not flattened all the way onto the ground, but almost like you could fit 1 or 2 fingers underneath that low back, maybe. Okay. And then have said this before. This is how, when I say activate your core, when we're laying on the ground, this is what I mean. So we're going to take our peace fingers to our hip bones. And I actually learned a different way to say this. And so I'm going to say this slightly different way than I did in the last session. And well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do both. So your fingers are on your hip bones. I'm just going to sit up here in case you need to see me. And I'm going to pretend to pull those hip bones together. And as you do, you're going to also pretend, frankly, and I don't like this so much, but it is the visual works. Pretend you're getting punched in the stomach and you're contracting to protect yourself. It's that feeling. Okay. It's that muscle. So when you do that, as your fingertips come up off the bones, you'll feel that muscle contract. That's your transverse abdominis. Okay. So when I say activate your core, I want you to do that. And then I want you to pull your belly button into your spine. And we do that before we ever lift our feet up off the ground. So we'll pretend we didn't do any of that and we'll start over. We'll do some pelvic tilts back and forth. Then we'll find our neutral spine. And then we'll activate that transverse abdominis. So we really feel that muscle now. And then we pull our belly button into our spine. Okay. So to be honest, for this particular thing, it's not super important to have the activated core, but I wanted to remind you how to do that. All right, let's hug right knee into chest. Right knee into chest, and you can just rock it side and side. I have my left knee bent, foot is on the floor, and I'm going to grab my strap around my right foot. And before I reach it too high towards the sky, I'm going to lengthen it out nice and long. And my knee is straight And I'm keeping the knees straight as I pull my leg up towards ish, the sky or my head. The second my knee wants to bend, I'm going to stop. And or your first or second point of resistance. Those may be the same, they may be different. Okay. And we're going to just hold it here. Not for quite as long as we did last session. I'm going to time us here though. And I'm going to press the ball of my foot into the strap into the foot. Really just sort of feel that muscle activation here. And we're going to just take about 3 nice, long, deep, and even breaths. And you're going to visualize your breath going into whatever area you're feeling this in. I am feeling it in my hamstrings, the back of my thighs. So oftentimes, when there are tight hamstrings, there are low back issues, and vice versa. That's why we're doing this. One more nice, deep, and even breath. You're going to take the straps into your right hand. Left knee opens up to the left, right leg opens out to the right, again to that first or second point of resistance. No pain here. Frankly, no pain ever in what we're doing. We are trying to rid ourselves of pain. This time I'm feeling it in my inner thigh, so I'm going to visualize my breath going into that area, creating space and length and softness. 2 more breaths. You're going to use your inner thigh, not the strap, to pull that right leg up through center. Left knee comes through center, and then you're going to straighten the left leg. Straps come in the left hand. Take your right thumb into your right hip crease and sort of pull that right hip down as you allow that right leg to cross over to the left. Might be a little bit different sensation here. I feel it all the way down the side of my leg, all the way down to my ankle, honestly. But it's not pain. I just feel it. And you can keep that right hand on your right hip, gently guiding it away if that feels good. But you're not pushing it hard or anything like that. All right, using the outer thigh, you're going to pull that leg up through center, hug right knee into chest, remove the strap. Bring the left knee in to meet it. You can gently rock side to side on that sacrum. Right foot drops to the ground, strap comes around the left foot. And again, we're straightening it low and long before we pull it up towards the sky. We're not yanking on the straps, we're using our leg to pull ourselves up. First or second point of resistance. I'm pressing ball of my foot into the strap into the foot for a little more muscle energy if I wanted that. And maybe notice what is happening in your low back here. Do you feel like you're tilting or curling too much? And find that neutral spine. Maybe gently pull the belly button into the spine. To be fair, I could be practicing my Uddiyana Bandha right here. That pulling up on the pelvic floor, pulsing the belly button. Yeah, just you don't have to, but we could. One more breath here. We'll take the strap into the left hand. Right knee opens to the right, left leg opens out to the left. Foot is flexed, nice and strong. But we don't have a death grip on the strap, okay? Shoulders are relaxed, jaws are relaxed. One more deep breath. At the end of this next exhale, you'll use your inner thigh, not the strap. Pull it all the way up through center. Switch the straps into the right hand. Right leg straightens. Take the left thumb into that left hip. Gently guide that hip away from you. Notice how that feels. And then cross left leg over towards the right. Now, if you're feeling pain at all, you're going to come out, right? You're not going to dive in deep. You're going to allow that leg to come away from the earth. If you did want more, if you feel like you're not feeling it enough, you walk your hands up the strap and you pull your foot up towards your head. That's a way to feel it more if you're so inclined. One more deep breath here. And at the end of the next exhale, you're going to use the outer thigh, use that leg, pull it all the way up through center. Bend the left knee. You can remove that strap, place it away from you. Hug left knee into the chest. Right knee comes in to meet it. Again, gently rocking side to side. And we can just do some knee circles here. So hands are on top of the knees, and the knees move away from you, and then together and back in. And then we'll reverse after we've done 3 to 5 of those, reverse direction. And then we're going to hug the knees in and bring them out wide towards our armpits-ish. And remember, we're the tilting and the curling, same thing here. You're going to find that neutral spine. Maybe activate the belly slightly. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. And we're going to do a happy baby-ish, okay? So knees are bent, soles of the feet come up towards ish the sky, okay? So if they're low, it's all right. But if you want and you're able and you'd like to, you can bring the soles of the feet up towards ish, but the knees stay bent. Okay. You can grab the back of the thighs, the back of the calves, or the outside edges of the feet. If you have the feet, you're rolling your shoulders down and pressing foot into hand, hand into foot, plugging your hips in. And notice what's going on with the pelvis. Are you tilting or curling? Like I'm not lifting my hips up, I'm exaggerating here, and I'm not reaching too far away. I have a nice neutral low back spine here. And if you don't have the feet, you just hold the thighs, and we're just holding here. This is a hip stability pose that I'm wanting us to do right now. Sometimes we do move in happy baby, but we're just not right now. That's all. Inhale and exhale. One more. And at the end of this exhale, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. The knees are out wide, and you're going to allow those feet to drop all the way down to the ground. Supta Baddha Konasana, this is called. Butterfly pose on our spine. Inhale here. And exhale here. We did this last week, I believe. We're going to do some butterfly bridges. So soles of the feet are pressing into each other. You're going to activate the core. All right. So you really feel this transverse abdominis, belly button into spine. This whole area is super nice and strong and solid. Arms are long, palms face down. You may want to bring your feet in a little closer towards you. You can play around to see if that feels available. Okay. I'm pressing my feet in and I'm lifting my hips up off the earth, butterfly bridge. And then I'm going to just slowly lower down. So nice and slow and controlled. Make sure this core is activated. Press up, 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 up. Your glutes are activated as well, and that's okay. And lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. We've got first, we'll go 3 and lower, 2 and lower, and 1. Hold it up. Hold it here. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Yep, you're probably feeling this in your legs and your glutes. All right, but this is nice and strong. This core area is nice and strong. Inhale. Exhale, lower it all down. Hips drop down to the earth. Gently guide your knees back together. Gently roll side to side. And however you want to come up, we're going to come onto our rollers. So you could roll to one side, or if it's available, you could just roll on your spine and come up to seated. We'll grab our rollers and we'll get to the yummy part of rolling things out after we do the work. That'll be the dessert of the hard work. So we're going to come to laying lengthwise on our roller. So our sacrum and our head are both supported here. Okay. My feet are wide, so I have a nice stable position here. All right. And if it feels a little wobbly, that's okay, but also make sure it's straight. Okay. And if we don't have a roller, it's fine. We could do everything off the roller. This just gives us a little bit more instability, makes it a little more balancy and makes it, frankly, a little bit harder. Um, but we are fully capable. Okay. So even here, do some pelvic tilts back and forth. And then find that neutral spine. Activate this core. Belly button pulls towards the spine so that the core is nice and active before we lift our legs up to a tabletop position. And just to be clear, maybe you did this last week and you're like, wow, that was much easier last week. Or the opposite, it was harder last week and this week I can do it. This can change day to day. It really can. Okay. So if you're not feeling solid in your core, you feel it anywhere else, especially frankly in your low back, you're going to come out, you're going to reactivate, and then you're going to lift your legs up. All right. We're going to just do some marches. I'm high on my fingertips here. I'm going to reach my right leg to the earth, tap it, pull it in. Left leg, reach, tap, pull in. We've got tap and in, left and in. We've got right and in, left and in, right and in, left and in. We've got 4 more. 4 and left. For 3 and left. For 2 and left. And 1. You got it. And left. Hold it here. Hold it here. Just for fun, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Right arm up towards the sky. And then reach the left leg long and tap it. Right arm comes behind you and then pull it in. We're going to switch sides with that. Left arm comes up. Yes, it's super wobbly. It's okay. Right leg reaches, left arm behind you. Pull it in. We're only doing two more of these. Right arm, left leg, and in. Left arm, right leg. Woo, and in. You guys feeling it? If it's too much, come out, re-engage. Right arm, left leg, and in. Last one, left arm, right leg, and in. Hands down on the earth. Hold it here. Maybe come up to the fingertips. Maybe see if you can balance with no hands or feet on the ground. For 3, 2, 1. That's all I could do. Nice job. Really nice job. Okay, there's lots of other stuff that we can do on the roller. And so we'll do something different next week. We're going to come off the roller. This is like the fun, juicy stuff, I think. I have it under my low back. My hands are behind, and I'm going to lift. Whoop. I'm going to try. I'm going to lift my hips. My ruler is slipping away from me. Place it underneath my sacrum. Okay, so sacrum is that bony protrusion. It should feel good as you rub back and forth on this. Okay, I'm going to take my right ankle and cross my left knee. I'm going to pick my left foot up, and I'm going to drop the knees to the right. And I can always drop this left foot to the ground if it's too intense. Okay. And I'm going to find a juicy spot. That means a spot I like. Okay. And I'm going to hang out there for about 20 seconds. And I'm going to take some deep breaths while I'm holding it and see how few of breaths you can take in that 20 seconds, which I'm not timing us, but sometimes, it only takes a couple breaths to make it that far. And then you can roll back and forth. It's a little like myofascial release here. And you can use that technique all over the body, really. The holding and then the rolling. All right, we'll come back through center. Drop that left foot. It's not already. Uncross. We'll switch sides. Left ankle to right knee. I'm going to lift my right foot up, drop the knees over to the left. And I'm going to find that juicy spot, or it's going to find me. This side was found quite quickly. And again, each side is different, right? The sides will feel different. Couple deep breaths, and then you can roll it back and forth. And then we'll bring it, excuse me, back through center. And then you can roll it so that you're now sitting on the ground, and you can lift and just roll your lower back. All right, so we're not going down into the sacrum and the glutes here, just the lower back. And this should feel good, okay? No pain. Sometimes intensity is okay, but pain is not. And then I'm going to move the roller back to about the mid back, mid spine, like bra strap level. And I'm going to bring my hands behind my back. And then I'm going to bring my elbows up high. I'm going to walk my feet in. I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to roll the upper spine. And if I bring my elbows towards the sky, you can really get in between the scapulas here. And this, I think, feels good. And same thing, if you find a spot, hang out. And I know that this is neither low back or hips, but it's, it feels good. And then go ahead and roll. And just a side note, never roll your neck. Okay. So you stop at that point. It's actually like C7. It's like a little bony protrusion. You don't want to go over that. And it's basically where your neck connects to your upper back. And then you can go all the way down if you like. And we'll come off of it and we'll move that aside. So I'm going to have you find or make sure that some props are close by. And we're going to come into just some seated poses. This first one is butterfly, okay? Baddha Konasana. We did this laying down. So my soles of the feet together and my knees are out wide. So if you have a strap, you're going to pull it behind you. And this is one that I'd love for you guys to do, at home on your own. Like if you're watching TV or something like this just feels really good. So the strap has come underneath my feet. Okay, you see that? And I'm just tightening my strap. And it's a little cumbersome at first, trying to, kind of figure that out. And if you have a scarf or you don't have a strap, no worries, just sort of tie it around, okay? And if that's not working, you can just hold here in butterfly pose. No problem. Okay? But I'm going to tighten this pretty tight. I can't, like, I just made myself a little chair. Okay. My low back is fully supported. I'm going to go sideways so you can see my posture. Whoop, that was a little harder than I thought. Maybe you can't see it very well. Um, the strap is just at my sacrum, low back sacrum. And again, this should feel really good. Okay. If it doesn't feel good, we're not doing it. Okay. But I don't have to hold on to anything if I don't want to. I could, read a book, answer some emails. Don't do that. And while we're here, let's just tuck the chin to the chest. Chin to the chest. Maybe you feel it a little bit in your upper back, maybe not. And you're just going to gently bring the chin over towards the right shoulder. And then you're going to bring it back down through center and chin over to the left shoulder. And you can do this very, very slowly, like use an entire inhale to get to one side, like that 4 count, and an entire exhale to get to the other. So you're basically doing some little semicircles here in the front plane. And the next time you land on the right, or you come to the right side, stay there and maybe very gently nod your head up and down. And then roll through center and over to the left. And nod, maybe 3 times up and down. And then we'll roll it through center, chin is to chest, and then we'll gaze back up. I'm going to have you undo your strap, loosen it. Don't undo it all the way. We're going to use it again. And just bring it off to the side and gently bring your knees up together. You can lean back, bring your feet out wide, and we'll just do some windshield wipering of the knees. And you may feel this in your hips a little bit. And then we'll come up through center. And this time we're going to bring our legs out in front of us. I'm going to come long ways so you can see me. All right. And you want to, I always say, remove a little love from the bum here so that you feel yourself rooting down into, we call them your sit bones. They're actually like your ischial tuberosities. It's where the hamstring attaches at the bum. And you can sort of feel it and you can like root yourself down in the earth. And it allows us, when we sit in that way, to bring our shoulders over our hips. So you'll notice I have my knees slightly bent because my hamstrings are insanely tight right now. And sitting here, I actually feel it more in my hip flexors because I have not activated my core. Okay. So even here, I'm going to pull up on that belly or that pelvic floor, belly button to spine. I'm going to bend my knees slightly because this time we're going to take the strap around our hips again. But we're going to, if you have a long enough strap, to be fair, sometimes straps that we buy might not be long enough. So if this is available to you, you're going to wrap your strap around your feet and around your hips. And you're going to do the same thing and tighten it. Okay. So my feet are flexed, strap is around the ball of the foot, and I've tightened it too much, and it's around my hips. Now, if your strap is not long enough for this or your scarf, you're just going to do your feet. Okay. Like I said, it's a little cumbersome. So I'm just going to hold the strap like this. Roll the shoulders down the spine, belly button is toned. Pull the belly button towards the spine, is what I mean by that. And we can stay right here, or we can lean forward with a nice long spine. All right, we're going to feel it more in our hamstrings if we do that. Okay. Ideally, I'm not curled over. Okay. I don't have a curve in my upper spine. I'm exaggerating it here. All right. But my shoulders are plugged and I'm reaching forward. Yeah. So I'm not like this. I'm like this. You got it. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And sometimes you might find with that exhale, you can move a millimeter or so more towards your thighs. You certainly don't have to. So I will say, if these are poses that you want to do at home, and these two poses right here are poses that I did to alleviate my sciatic pain when I herniated discs oh so long ago now. And so I've had this strap, you guys, for almost 20 years. Um, it's a 10-foot strap. So it does the trick, does all the things. All right, last time, inhale and exhale. Slowly roll up, release your strap. We're going to do one more pose before I talk us through our yoga nidra. So, props here, we're coming into what's called dragonfly. It's basically wide-legged pose. So, you don't have to go as wide as you possibly can. Okay, that is not the point here. Same thing, you're going to move a little love from your bum so that you can feel your sit bones. Sometimes a blanket underneath the hips and or a pillow or a bolster to lift the hips. So like if your hips and your hamstrings are really tight, lift them up off the ground will be very helpful. All right, otherwise, we're going to bring our bolster, our pillow, whatever we might have. I'm grabbing a couple blocks here as well because we want to be totally supported here. I want you to go to that first or second point of resistance. And then we're going to come forward. Again, I have a, fairly long spine, but then I can let the head hang heavy, but resting on something. And I'm just going to show you a couple different ways to do this. Okay. So if I had more pillows, I could stack them up and I could just be right here. Okay. I could be here. I could be, this is actually one of my favorites, elbows on blocks or pillow and four or thumbs to the third eye. And I'm supporting my head that way. But wherever you are, if you can support your head. Another way is to build a little ramp here and come forward and rest the head. I'm going to time this one. And arms can be on your bolster or on your legs, hands on the ground, whatever feels supportive here. So these poses I like to hold anywhere from 2 to 5, sometimes longer, minutes, because this is allowing our connective tissue to soften and lengthen. You're going to gently push yourselves up to seated. We're going to find our final Shavasana / Yoga Nidra pose. So if you haven't done this with us before, Yoga Nidra is a deep guided meditation. By definition, it means yogic sleep. And you want to be in your most comfortable position. If you have a bed and you want to do this laying in your bed, you could. Laying on the ground, I recommend something under the head because laying on the ground for any length of time, even the softest floor will become very hard. You can have a bolster under your knees, pillow, bolster under your knees. Roller works great under the knees, actually. Socks, blanket over you. And again, just find your most comfortable position. You're checking for any lumps or bumps. And if you find them, adjust now. And know that you can, of course, move if you need to, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just get into a comfortable enough position that we don't need to? I will say that at the end of this, I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana so that you can stay wherever you are for as long as you are. All right. And I will just turn off the video. I will send you the recording and we'll see you next week. So let's scan your whole body, making sure you're as comfortable as you can be. Feet, legs, hips, back, arms, shoulders, jaw, forehead. And find yourself settling in, setting aside anything that's happened before this moment, setting aside anything that's happening after this practice. Setting aside for these moments to rebalance and rest. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, letting go. Letting go of any thoughts, any need to be, just being. This is your time for yourself. No goal, no destination, just experiencing peace. Begin to experience the stillness even more. This chance to do nothing. Resting just as you like. If it feels restful, allow these words to be received energetically rather than mentally, so that even the mind can rest now. In its place, there's effortless awareness. Feel all experience becoming more and more effortless, serene and effortless. Now we will begin the process of sweeping energy throughout the body, making energetic connections from point to point, like drawing electrical currents, beams of light, or any other way you might experience energetic connection. Sweep your awareness over to the right hand thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger. Drawing over to the left hand thumb, energetic current, beam of light, or another way. Tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger, over to the right wrist, then the left wrist, right elbow, left elbow. Connecting energy. Right shoulder, left shoulder, hollow of the throat, Back of the head near the top, crown of the head, eyebrow center, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, tip of the chin, hollow of the throat, heart center, right side of the chest, heart center, left side of the chest, heart center, navel center, tip of the tailbone, right hip, left hip, right knee, left knee, sweeping energy, right ankle, left ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Now the whole right side of the body, the whole left side of the body, the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Welcome the whole body of energetic connections all at once. Now become aware of the breath in the nostrils, just as it is. No need to do anything. Simply be aware of the breath. Notice the breath coming in like two streams through the nostrils. Feel the streams flowing in along the floor of the nasal passages and feel the breath flowing out. Streams of air flowing in along the floor of the nasal passages and streams of air flowing out. Bring awareness to your right nostril. Follow the inhalation through your right nostril, and as you exhale, feel it flow out through your left. Keep awareness on the left nostril as you inhale, and exhale, feel the breath flow out through the right. Mental alternate nostril breathing. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Count 1. Exhale through the left. Count 2. Inhale through the left. 3. Exhale through the right. 4. Keep counting this way up to 26. If you lose track, you can start again. Now let go of the count. It doesn't matter what number you got to, or even if your mind wandered. We're just letting go of that count. Bring your awareness back to your heart center. Heart center, heart center. Notice the heart rising on inhalation and falling on exhalation. Feel your body peacefully resting. Feel the support beneath you.